Hey everyone, Gaijin Goombah here. You know, I really didn't plan on starting my new year slumped over my microphone with Conflu talking about an out-of-left-field Pokemon Sword and Shield DLC, but just yesterday, one of my buds, Jam Calyrex on Discord, was like, "Hey Gaijin, you check out that Pokemon Direct? There's a couple of things you might find familiar." Laying on my desk with my head in a vice, I probably responded with, "What day is it?" Dragging my half-conscious body over to YouTube, I found the archived upload of the Direct, and after watching it, the history, the folklore, it's so freaking palpable. So if you guys will allow me, I'm gonna toss my Monster Hunter video in the back burner for a minute and try to break down the 6-layered cake of culture while a liter of Dayquil pumps through my veins. Cool? Cool. And before I get into it, a massive shout out to my guys on Discord for literally pointing out half this stuff. I love you guys so freaking much. Alright, so let me do this in order of appearance. Isle of Armor, let's go. And immediately we gotta put on the brakes. Now hold the phone. Alright. I know for a fact this isn't a Japanese structure, because typically the tops of buildings would have this thing called a Shachihoko, a creature believed to summon rain and curb fires, and I don't see any shiny Magikarp up there, so is this Chinese then?
There's a dojo for Pokemon battles on this island.
Oh my freaking god, it's a Gongfu Guan. Literally a Kung Fu house. I mean, it's a fighting type gym and you're training in this. How could it be anything else? Oh, but then we have the wise old sensei, or I guess since this is PokeChina, Shifu, known as Mustard. Sounds like a dumb name, right? Well, hold on your horses, because this, again, is a possible nod to China. You ever wonder where mustard got its origin from? I mean, there's numerous different kinds of mustards originating everywhere from the Mediterranean to Asia Minor, but the cultivation of mustard seeds, the core of true mustarddom, is credited to both Japan and China. Suddenly, that dumb name seems a lot less stupid now, doesn't it? Oh, okay, maybe it's still a little weird, but at least it makes sense. Kinda. Okay, moving on. What's next? Oh god, Kubfu. The fighting type Pokemon you eventually get from Mustard. I'll strap in, because we're gonna be here for a while. Alright, so we all get the pun here, right? Kubfu, Kung Fu, Cub, Bear, etc. Alright, just insert a random Kung Fu Panda reference and let's keep going. But lo and behold, Kubfu evolves into something a bit more complicated. One of two variants of the Pokemon known as Urshifu. Now, before we go further, I just gotta point the name out here, and this is just a theory, but Urshifu sounds like an interesting combination of Ursa, meaning bear, and Shifu, the Chinese word for teacher or master. But I digress. Look at the poses of these two. Urshifu right here, that is so obviously praying mantis style of Kung Fu, a style that focuses not on hard-hitting strikes, but speed and precision. Makes sense then to make it the rapid strike style Pokemon. Then there's the other Urshifu on the left here. And while I'm definitely not 100% certain on this, a lot of people have been saying that the fighting technique is based on Tiger-style Kung Fu, a discipline that focuses on fast, brutal, singular strikes. Heck, I read somewhere that the style actually had the hardest hitting strike in all of Kung Fu. So, again, it would make sense to give this Urshifu the single strike style. But oh, we ain't done just yet, cause now there's the Gigantamax form to talk about. Single Strike Urshifu goes from black to red with a fierce open mouth stance, while the Rapid Strike Urshifu turns blue with a closed mouth and kinda calm stance. Now, I know some of you may have already put this one together already, but this is the literal spitting image of the Neo, or Benevolent Kings, Agyo and Ungyo. Now, something to bear in mind, for the sake of this video's theme is that Agyo and Ungyo actually originate from India and Hinduism. They just got adopted into Buddhism, popularized in China, and then made its way to Japan. Because of that, these two have like 4 different names, so unless you want me to butcher the Chinese language more than I already have, I'm just gonna call these two Agyo and Ungyo. But what the heck kind of name is Agyo and Ungyo, you might be asking? Well, it's got everything to do with what they represent, the beginning and the end, the alpha and the omega, but in this case, the A and the A being the very first sound in the Japanese alphabet, while being the last. Therefore, over the generations, what was known as Nara-in Kongol and Mishaku Kongol became known as Agyo and Ungyo, representing birth and death. But you'll always see these two standing guard in front of the various Buddhist temples in Japan. Why is that? Well, while Shinto shrines have a Shishi and a Koma Inu in front of the gates guarding it, temples have Agyo and Ungyo. Agyo with its open mouth and holding a weapon, representing the driving away of evil spirits, while Ungyo with its closed mouth and open palm represents the retention of good spirits. Same goes for the Shishi and the Koma Inu, by the way. Finally, the last little neat thing I want to talk about Urshifu and the Neo twins is the fact that both of these pairs, despite having 2 physical embodiments, are actually of one being. Urshifu having its single and rapid strike forms for sure, but Agyo and Ungyo were actually 2 halves of a greater Buddhist deity, known as Shukong Goshin. meaning Vajra-wielding spirit. It was believed that this entity actually followed and protected the OG Buddha himself, Siddhartha Gautama, never leaving his side. And you know, just for giggles, let me throw in one last little theory I got for the Sword and Shield DLC. So, Calyrex, right? Psychic grass type said to be knowledgeable of all things as well as being an old ruler of Galar, right? So consider this. I think, not know, but think that Calyrex is based on the Buddha. Yeah, I know that sounds dumb, but roll with me a little, okay? We've already established that this DLC is going in hard with China and Buddhist takes, right? Well, consider this. Siddhartha was born a great prince whose every need was tended to by his father. And long story short, he felt like this life had no meaning, and after a long series of trials and tribulations, Siddhartha, the once prince now pauper, sat under the Bodhi tree for 49 days in meditation. And it was here that the legend says that Siddhartha found enlightenment in nirvana and became the Buddha. Now, doesn't that just sound a tad familiar? Calyrex is a noble Pokemon ruler of sorts who is all-knowing. That's the psychic part. As well as having that massive tree hat. That's the grass part. Is it not fair then to make the assumption that these two might be related? Calyrex and Siddhartha are both royalty, both of them have symbolisms with trees, both of them have become nearly omnipotent, and before anyone tries to tell me that Psychic doesn't equal Zen, might I refer you to the Psychic move Zen Headbutt. And finally, I don't know about you guys, but that dressing around Calyrex's neck looks an awful lot like Buddhist prayer beads. Again though, just a theory. And I have no idea why the beads have the Hojo clan crest, but that's another can of worms to open up on a later day. So, while I go suck down some more tussin and take a nap, what do you guys think? Is Sword and Shield's DLC taking us back to the Far East? I don't know, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But in any case, everyone, thanks for watching. I know this video was a tad rambling and basic, but despite the sickness, it was really fun to do. I might try to do it again sometime. But really quick, big shout out to Briggs for letting me use his sweet Pokemon remixes, and other than that, you guys know the drill. More culture videos coming out in the like, subscribe, all that other stuff that people have probably tuned out by now due to overexposure, but just know that I love you guys so very much and thank you so much for your support. And until next time everyone, this is Gaijin Goombah, signing out.